work too much.
Gotta bring home the bacon to fatten you up.
How much you loan you?
1,500.
I ain't got that kind of cash lying around to bail you out.
Bro, you want to get a drink later?
Yeah. And a liquid dinner?
You want another?
No, Rodney was supposed to meet me here half hour ago.
Now, why the hell you want to fight?
I just need the money.
You're gonna be a good boy and take a dive. I'm not gonna have to teach you a lesson.
Hello, welcome to Everyone's Critic. This is Spencer Fawcett, and I'll be talking about Out of the Furnace. So The Furnace is about a blue-collar, middle-aged man who gets back in touch with his younger brother who was recently discharged from the military, and he's sort of experiencing PTSD, and now, in order to make money, he does these underground fights, and then eventually he gets involved with a vicious, psychotic gangster who sort of organizes these fights and tries to get him to take a dive, and when he refuses to, things start to go south and the brother goes missing. So the other brother, the blue-collar worker, played by Christian Bale goes looking for him, and he hunts this gangster down because he suspects that he had something to do with the disappearance, and it's pretty good, so let's take a look.
They haven't been able to find your brother. The people up in those hills got their own breed of justice, and it does not include us.
This DeGroat is the worst. He haunts those mountains.
Please don't do anything for me. You don't want to go there.
We're gonna get one shot at this guy. You ready for this?
Ronnie Baze's brother. I ain't leaving without him.
Forgive me my sins, O Lord. Forgive me my sins. Forget and forgive what we have been.
You're a good kid with a good heart.
Hey, Dad. I love you.
Get up.
You got 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, I have a very, very complicated opinion on this movie. This movie's one that I've wanted to see for a very long time. I've seen clips of it here and there. The main reason I wanted to see this movie was because it has some of the greatest modern actors in it, assembled for a great cast. You got Christian Bale in the lead, Woody Harrelson, great as always. He plays the gangster. Sort of a different performance from him, and sort of not. He's played gangsters and psychopaths before, but they've always had humor, and this, it doesn't, so he's great, but it's not. I'll get more into Woody Harrelson's performance later. Casey Affleck, who's great as always. I think he might be the star of the show here. I think he's not in it very much, but his scenes are some of the most powerful, and he's got a lot of the greatest lines, and he probably has the most powerful performance in this movie. And then you have like very minor performances from, not like minor in screen time, not minor in quality, from like Forrest Whitaker and Willem Dafoe and Sam Shepard in a very small role. Zoe Saldana's in this movie. So this movie's packed to the gills with star power. But that might be the best thing it has going for it. So starting off with the acting, Christian Bale, he's very, very good here. It's not necessarily a challenging role at all compared to his other work. He definitely has better performances on his resume here. But with this one, you know, he does a southern accent. He's very believable as a blue-collar worker and, you know, sort of a lower-class kind of person. And I don't remember where it takes place. Some of it takes place in New Jersey, but I don't remember where the main story takes place. But it's somewhere in the southern region. But he plays that very convincingly and makes it look effortless. Like I said, Casey Affleck, who's, in my opinion, is the best performance in this movie, which I wasn't expecting. I was expecting the best performance to be from Woody Harrelson. So my thing with Woody Harrelson is he's probably my second favorite actor of all time, behind Sam Rockwell. Woody Harrelson, what's great about all of his performances is he gives it his own particular style, and he makes it his own. Like there are performances from other actors that anyone could have played, could have made it better, could have made it worse, either way. With Woody Harrelson, he puts his own certain touch on it. So no matter how bad of a character he's playing, like, you know, how villainous he is, he makes it very charming, and he makes it witty, and he makes it funny. You don't get that here. You just get, like, a despicable nature from him. And that was kind of off-putting, because one of Woody Harrelson's best traits as an actor is he can make any character likable, and you don't get that here. And I understand you're not supposed to like this character, but I don't know. It's just it's not the normal Woody Harrelson. He doesn't really put that touch on it that I love from all of his other performances. So I was kind of disappointed in that. I was expecting like another great Woody Harrelson performance. Woody Harrelson is great in this, but it's not what you would consider like a great Woody Harrelson performance. Like you'd consider 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri a great Woody Harrelson performance. 7 Psychopaths, a great Woody Harrelson performance. Even Kingpin is a great Woody Harrelson performance. This doesn't feel like a Woody Harrelson performance. It just feels like a good performance. So that was kind of disappointing. I was really expecting a lot from the performance. And I can't really blame Woody Harrelson for that. It's mostly on the writing and how the character is. The character is meant to be very despicable, and Woody Harrelson was pretty much doing what he could with what he was given. So that goes back into the writing. The writing is strong at some points and very dull at others. So it kind of tips towards the duller side, which, I mean, I can't really say I was surprised with that. This movie isn't really meant to evoke. It's not supposed to be very thought-provoking, and it's not one of those movies that will be known for its dialogue. So it's not really trying to be anything that it's not, except for the fact that I feel like it's trying to say something, but I could never for the life of me understand what it was. And overall, this movie is kind of pointless. That's the thing. Like, it doesn't really have a message. The only parts that seemed really important to me were the parts with Casey Affleck. And his whole thing was he's back from the war, back from Iraq. And he's traumatized. But you don't really see... Casey Affleck does a similar thing in this movie that he does with Manchester by the Sea. He's encumbered by trauma and all that, but he doesn't really make it super clear. You know, he mostly holds that stuff inside him until the one scene in this movie where he just breaks down and he has an argument with Christian Bale, and that seemed like it was going to say something. That scene said a lot for how traumatized veterans are when they come back from war, how poorly they're treated when they come back from war, and I thought that was very fascinating. But it's one scene in this whole movie, and I highly doubt that that's the message of this whole movie, because it's like one scene and it's towards the beginning, so it's not even like one of the final scenes where it would kind of sum everything up. It's one of the beginning scenes, and then you just kind of move on from it. So there's really no clear message in this movie. It doesn't say much at all. I didn't really feel much at the ending. It kind of gave me that vibe. So I can't really sing the praises of this movie too much. The best I can do in terms of praising it is praise the acting, because they're fantastic actors in this movie and they give some great performances. And I can't say I was really entertained in that movie. There are a few really, really gripping scenes, but overall it's just, you get the sense that it means nothing, and it doesn't really give you much to appreciate. And like I said, I do like this movie. The star power behind it is the main draw, and I went in expecting great performances from these actors, and for the most part, those expectations were met. And the only thing that really complicates me in terms of the acting is Woody Harrelson. Woody Harrelson is great in this movie. It's just not a Woody Harrelson type performance, and that was what kind of disappointed me. But so yeah, the acting is where it gets the most points for me. The writing, it gets like an average. It gets a decent amount, but it really gets dull at some points, and it really just doesn't sit well with me at all times. Some of the, like, I didn't really buy the Christian Bale, Casey Affleck brother relationship. And that's nothing on the actor's part. I feel like that can be chalked down to the dialogue, making it sound really unrealistic. This just doesn't seem like how brothers talk. It doesn't seem like how people talk, no matter what the relationship is. So that kind of threw me off. Yeah, this movie, it's really complicated to me, because it doesn't get much in the entertainment. The story's kind of too basic to, it's just not very original, so that kind of threw me. It's not rewatchable. I'll probably never watch this movie again, so yeah, it's hard to, this movie, it's not one that's very memorable. It's not one that's very important. It's not very powerful, and it's not rewatchable. So overall, I give it a 6.9. Definitely not bad, but it's not one I would immediately recommend to someone unless they're a fan of some of these actors. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for my next video. Thank you.